How's it going? New face, huh? New face, new place, new taste. My name is Taylor Fleming Sr., and I have a message that I've been holding since, my goodness, some of you have heard it. However, I've been holding this message, I want to say, some 15 plus years ago. And I'm here to tell you, it never gets old. It never gets old. It all started with a dear friend of mine, like a nephew. He's bigger than me, boy. He's a very successful man. Him and his family, wife, and his brothers, and his father, and God rest his mother's soul. May the Lord carry her soul in heaven, is what I say. Uh, Paul, and I don't know if you want his last name out there, but he don't mind. Paul Dotson. Um, he he's awesome. I'm so proud of him. I can't say more. I'm so proud of him. But yeah, he's got a nice business. Name He's a fitness coach here in Phoenix, Arizona, and he's probably looking at this video like, man, you need to come on and see me. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get with you, Paul. But yeah, shout out to his brother, and they're all successful. You know, Tavon, and they're all successful, and I love them. I love them like family, and they love me the same. And I said all that to say this message I've had since, man, I want to say since Paul was in the eighth grade. That's been some 15 plus years ago or more. And I once was a educator, a paraeducator, and a basketball coach, not a very good one. But yes. And one day I walked in the office and Paul was waiting to see the principal. And I asked Paul some 15 plus years ago or more. I asked Paul why was he there, and he said, because some white dude called him a nigger, and him and a friend did something what we would normally do, what we've been trained to do when someone calls us a nigger. But it was that moment. It's something how God will use people that you love to steer you and to kind of set that light up under you to make a difference, to make a change. You know, as long as that heart, that love for that person is the is the momentum behind it. You'll keep it going. You know, and if nothing else, to do something to help that person. And once God gives you the vision, it just keeps going. So I said all that to say, to bring us up to this current event. Man, this has been so long, and yeah, this current event with India Arie and Joe Rogan. So I want to speak to the black people first, because it's time out, people. It's Black History Month, and it's time out for being offended by the word nigger. It really is. As my friend James would say, it really ain't that silly no more. It really ain't that silly no more. You know, being offended by it, you know, slapping people with twisted cans and everything, man. Woman, boy, child. It's time out for that. Listen here. If you think the word nigger is going around, this is 15 plus years ago. It's still around, and it's been around before it was around, before all of us was around. You know, if you think the word nigger is gonna go away, it ain't going away. It ain't going away. It ain't gonna be a law. No one's gonna make it a law that you can't call someone a nigger, or they'll try and get you to stop calling each other a nigger before they stop another race from calling you a nigger. And you best believe that. Because it's just not going to happen. I mean, of all times, Black History Month, and we have this uproar of this Joe Rogan thing and India Arie thing. I mean, you know, I'm not a uh, too much of a coincidence kind of guy. I look at a trail of things and the timing of things, and I kind of put two and two together. Never was a good math person, kid in school, but I can put two and two together, if nothing else. And this timing, it just seems a bit off to me, But not for the sake of babbling. Let me get into the more thick and the more meat of things. Listen, nigger was never meant to be a bad word. Never meant to be a bad word, you know. But if your name is Taylor, okay, if your name is Taylor, and every time I saw you, I said Taylor, and I wanted to do something to you, and I struck violence with you. You love your name. You love your name. You know anyone that call you Taylor, or substitute your own name. Anyone call you Taylor, you look for love. You look for a likeness. You look for joy. You look for home. And we know as black people, quote unquote black people, brown but called black, we know as black people that it's a word of endearment to us. You really fortunate, to be around somebody that calls you nigger. That's my nigger right there. We used to say, as you can see, we used to say, you my nigga if you don't get no bigger. You my nigga. And that's just a warm feeling. That's warm. That's home. I'm getting kind of little goosebumps now just thinking about it. And that is where the word came from, and that's what the word means. Now, as I was saying, if you take someone and every time you say it, boom, it's time to put them up, or it's a word that's meant with hostility. Sooner or later, you'll say, as we used to say, don't let my name come out your mouth no more. Don't let my name come out your mouth no more. Don't you say my name. Don't you let my name come out your mouth no more. Hence, that is what our ancestors taught us about the word nigger. Don't let no one call you a nigger, our ancestors said. And I understand, understandably so. I don't blame them, because of what they went through, being called nigger. However, because I understand that, God has showed me also that they taught us wrong. Yeah, I said it. They taught us wrong. They taught us not to let anyone call us a nigger, as opposed to not being offended by the word nigger. You see, they weren't able to educate themselves back in the day as to where the word nigger came from. Ask KRS-One. He'll let you know where it came from. Or perhaps I'll let you know at a later show. Oh, by the way, speaking of shows, welcome to Morally TV. We will discuss an array of topics dealing with righteousness. Not so you righteous, or you self-righteous, or we're self-righteous, but just, I saw a TikTok video, and the guy said, where y'all go this way, I go that way. Well, that's Taylor. That's always been Taylor. When the crowd goes this way, I go that way. By the grace of God. That's just the way he's made me. So my point is, Morally TV is pretty much about things that can't be said because, you're a celebrity, things that can't be said because you're an athlete, things that can't be said because you're an artist or you're in a public figure, what have you. I ain't nobody but God's body. I'm going to say it again. I ain't nobody but God's body. But got a lot to talk about. This is the first episode or what have you. And I hope this reaches a lot of people. I'm not going to say I hope it goes viral, but I hope it reaches a lot of people and set a lot of people free. So back to what I was saying. Our ancestors just taught us wrong. That's all. They taught us wrong. They taught us out of their pain. They taught us out of their grief, out of the hostility, until they didn't want to be nigger no more, But nigger's a beautiful thing. Just say it. It's a beautiful thing. That's why the white people want to say it. It's like y'all saying it. You know, y'all saying that word just make y'all feel so good. We want to, cause not all white people are bad. You know that. We know that. You know, but they want to say it too. You know, some want to say it to be malicious. Some want to say it because they love black people too, and they want to be included. You know, we welcome you, white people. You know, the minority, black people, we welcome you. You know, we welcome your kind heart. You know, we welcome your love. We welcome the love of Christ in you. You know, but the rest of you, those out there with all those little tricks, I know how you think, and I think God showed me a few things about you. But yeah. So our ancestors taught us wrong, you know, and God love them, you know. May the Lord carry their soul in heaven, and they just taught us wrong, and it's understandable. But it's our turn now. It's Black History Month. What are we gonna make history if nothing else but the offense of the word nigger? I said, what are we going to make history if nothing else but if nothing else but the word nigger? I mean, Black history. You know, something about it, something about us, something about something with dealing with us, whatever the offensive nigga, it must go. Nas, brother, love you, man, but we can't bury it. We have to deal with ourselves first. That's how you bury it. You bury it by not being offended by it. You bury it by educating yourself about the word nigger. You know, where it comes from, what it means. You know, it means its meaning, it's kingship. You know, it's queenship. It's love. All you have to do is say the word nigga and you feel good about it. So what's the problem? You know, I was telling my wife the other day, it's like a foreign language. When someone calls us niggas in a derogatory way, out of that inherited anger and hatred and what have you, going through the bloodline and genes and things, we should laugh. You know, we should laugh. Just like you know, I grew up around loving Mexicans, you know, in high school and everything, and I love my Mexican brothers. You know, I love all races. Bottom line, you know, I guess that's why God has me here before you, because I truly love all races. And but my point was, once in high school, I had a crush on this one girl, and she used to call me Bobo all the time. She used to call me Bobo, Lizette. Lizette used to call me Bobo, and boy, I thought I had a pet name. I thought I had a pet name, Bobo. Whatever, Bobo. Bobo, Moo Bobo. And she called me Bobo. You know, and I used to thought it was good until I got older and I decided, you know, let me find out. I asked somebody, what does Bobo mean? Well, Bobo means dummy. Bobo means dummy. So I was no longer, you know, I had a crush on Lizette, you know, even though she was very pretty. Um, I had no, but my point is that we should laugh when a racist person calls us nigger because we know what it means, and it's like it would be like them trying to call us a name that they have no idea what it means. But they tried to change the meaning of the word nigger some decades ago, and said it means this or that. Don't you know, if you ask 99% of the people that is offended by the word nigger what it means, they won't be able to tell you. They just know we just know we were taught not to allow anyone to call us nigger. If you ask 99% of the people that is using the word nigger as a word of offense, they won't be able to tell you what it means. They just know that's your button. They just know if they say it, that's it. And don't get this wrong. Just because you beat up somebody, that doesn't mean anything. You ain't done anything, black man, black woman. Because a white woman called you a nigger, black woman, because a white man called you a nigger, black man, black boy, and you beat them up, or they let you beat them up, don't change anything. That just means ownership. A dog is supposed to bite. Oh, look at you. Now I'm calling you us dogs. No, I'm using wisdom here. I'm trying to give some insight to free our people. If you had a dog, if you grew up like me, we love dogs. And the best thing about having a dog is if that dog was mean. If the dog was mean, we had something. We had us a Toby, you know. We had us a mean dog, you know. But that's nothing. A white person can take that whooping, whatever, as long as you walk away and you still a nigga. As long as you still offended by the word nigga. As long as you turn to rage when called a nigga by me, I own you. Mentally, emotionally. My ancestors still own you. Mentally, emotionally. You're still a slave. Because you are still reacting to that same slave mentality that was done to your ancestors. And we just checking to see if it's through the bloodline, if it's just how pure, how good of a job our ancestors did. It's so silly. And it really ain't that silly. It's time out for that. It's time out for being afraid. I watched this one video. My goodness, I watched this. There's so much to this show. I'm trying to cram it all in, and I really shouldn't. But stay tuned. I mean, there's so much more, and this it isn't going so much. But I want to share with you what God has shared with me over the years, and as you can see, how old this shirt is. I got new ones. Of course, we're stocked with them, so we'll be. You can place an order real soon here. But it's a very old shirt. The back of it is I don't know if you can see it, gone. But yeah. Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe I should pause that. This is the first time I'm here. You bear with me. But where was I? I watched this video once of a dog trainer. Okay, and whenever the man blew, well, let me go a little further back. Way back in the day, one of me and my friends, shout out to Papa, rest in peace, Richard. May the Lord carry his soul in heaven. One of our favorite shows was the Doberman Gang. The Doberman Gang. Man, we used to watch the Doberman Gang whenever it came on. And one of the unique things that stuck out to me about the Doberman Gang was the whistles. Okay, whenever the trainer blew a whistle, and he had like a pouch of whistles. Those of you that if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go and see it, and it'll kind of shed a little light on this nigger thing or getting over the N word. I don't know how far YouTube is gonna let me say nigger, but just let me know, YouTube. We're trying to help some people. That's all. But yeah, so. Whenever the trainer blew the whistle, the dog would do a command. You blow a whistle, the dog would get up on the counter, get this note, I just know I'm getting ready to rob you, get this note. Or you blow a whistle, the dog would sit, blow another whistle, the dog would run, do it, blow another whistle, the dog would growl. That's the word nigger for black people. I'm sorry, we act like we're trained. That's how time has trained us with the word nigger. We're the only ones that has a word that we're trained by. Whenever the word nigger is said, we growl. No one else can hear it, and that's another thing. Those that know dogs and know dog whistles know that there's such a high pitch or such a pitch of a sound, keen sound, that only the dogs can hear. Ooh, what you saying, Taylor? What you saying? Yeah, I'm saying it. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why is it that we're only offended by it? As if we're dogs. As if we can only hear this offense. No one else is offended by it. I'll tell you something. Listen, I wear my t-shirt, and I've had this, this say, my son said, this is the vintage one. But I wear it purposely amongst, white people, black people, because I want to see, the reaction of when they see get over the N-word. And would you believe I get bad looks? I get mean mugs from both black people as well as white people. I'll say it again. Yeah, I'll say it again. I get bad looks from black people, and I get bad looks from white people. White people don't want us to get over the word nigger. And black people feel like we don't have to get over the word nigger. Riddle me that. Why is that? Why? That's when you know a spirit. That's when you know a demon. That's when you know it's demonic, truly demonic. And that's when you know it's been around too long and it's time to let it go. Here we go. It bothers black people to see this shirt, and it bothers white people to see this shirt. Not all, but for the most part, I make sure I get in their face too. I'll talk to them with the shirt on because I want to know, because I want to set them free and I want to set us free too. Okay, so yeah, it's a word that they feel they have ownership of it, and on the other end, we feel we have ownership of it, and we don't want to get over it, and we want them to stop saying it. It's never gonna happen where they are going to stop saying it. Okay, but getting back to where I started real quick with the India Irie. I can understand why she pulled her music. This is a reaction to that, if you will. I can understand her getting upset and taking her music off or whatever. I'm not a musician, so I know nothing about the music industry. Joe Rogan, I listened to some of the tapes, recordings, and hey, he talked like white people talk when white people talk. We talk like black people talk when black people talk. you know. And you heard the jungle thing and everything and whatever. That's how white people talk, man. That's how they do. We say things, amongst us, and But my point again is, Miss India Irie, I love your music, but ain't no stop saying it. You baby, you'll write a million more songs before they stop saying, white people will stop saying it. You will. What's going to make them stop saying it? When they see it has no effect anymore. That's the only way. Think about it. Look at me. I'm such an imperfect man. I'm such an imperfect man. And as a child, I've been called quite a few things. Some of my own fault, some just mean people, or kids being kids. They all love me, you know. But at the same time, I had to learn to deal with it. If it was funny, I laughed. If it wasn't funny, I didn't laugh, you know. But that couldn't make them stop saying what they said, the names they called me. So what makes us think we can make somebody stop calling us a name? It was just hey, if it's funny, I'm going to laugh with you. If it's not funny, I ain't going to laugh. And if I don't laugh, you're going to stop calling me that name because you see it has no effect. It's the same thing with the word nigga. Y'all hear me? Listen, it's never going away. We are never going to make someone stop calling us nigger. It's not going to happen. We might as well get over it, forget about it, and move on with the life. I dare you to try it. Next time someone calls you a nigga, don't get upset. Laugh. If you laugh, they'll cry. Believe me. Not literally. Some might cry, some may not. But listen, I'm Taylor Fleming. I'm going to let you out here. Stay tuned to the next episode here on Morally TV. We love you. And this is my first video. That's one thing about when God has something for you to do. It's you can't just do like I've done, for many years. This isn't right. That isn't right. Am I looking right? Do I get it? What can I, look at my back. I ain't got that. I don't want, this is for God, man. And this is for my people. And this is for God's people. It's Black History Month. It's time. What other time? If not now, when? If not me, who? But I'm going to leave this with you. The Word of God says this: anger rests in the belly of a fool. For those of you that think that you're going to stand before God, and God is going to be like, hey, you come from America, they called you nigger, you got a right, you should have did what you did, bloom, because they called you nigger. Ain't no passes, baby. I'm here to tell you, there won't be any passes because you killed somebody, or because you ended up in jail, because you went to bed on your wrath, and because somebody called you nigger and you didn't repent for it. I'm sorry. That's no, because the Bible says Christians, and there's a lot of Christians too now. There's a lot of Christians, a lot of believers, a lot of pastors, that are offended by the word nigger. And I might as well say this, boy. I hope this YouTube, this video ain't too long, because I'm gonna try and end it with this. Look here, pastors. How about some altar calls, my brothers, my sisters? How about some altar calls for these people that are bound by the offense of the word nigger? I've never seen it, and I've been to a few places. I've never seen it. I've been waiting. You know, you know. How about some altar calls? You have altar call for just about almost everything. I've noticed. We ain't gonna go into it. But you have altar calls just about everything. But this is America. Why don't you have altar calls for those that are offended by the word nigger? Why don't you have altar calls for those whose parents taught them to hate black people? We're in America. Why isn't race being dealt with? Well, I can't understand that. I see pastors on Instagram, sharp, dressing like, I seen one pastor the other day, and had I not seen, who did I see with that coat first? I seen somebody with the coat first. I think it was a comedian, or was it Ricky Smiley? But yeah, and I seen a pastor with the coat on the other day. What kind of, I'm like, man, come on, man, stop. Let's free these people that's bound by racism. Because everybody in your church, brother, sister, everybody in your church, I almost guarantee you, if they would be honest, and if you raise your hand and you ask them to raise your hand if you're offended by the word nigger, the whole church will swoop the altar. Your pastors, your assistant pastors, your pastors' wives, your usher board, your financial advisor, your CEO. I don't know what the labels are called. Your musicians, they will all come up to the church. But 99% of them will come up to the church. There you go. There you go, right there. Hey. But I'm just waiting to see it because I don't see it. I haven't seen it. Don't we care? Don't we care enough? I mean, they give, and we're tithing, and we're giving, and we're tithing, but we're sending them out the same way they came in. And the reason for that, well, I'll just say one of it, because I don't know everything. One of the main reasons for that, Pastor, is that you're offended by it yourself. Yeah. You're offended by the word nigger, too. And if you go out there, and a white man call you a nigger, you gonna want to lay hands on him. I know, I love you, but man, come on, man. It's Black History Month. Let's make something history. Can we make something history? Last year them niggas was very offended by the word nigger. This Black History, them niggas ain't offended by. I called a nigga the other day. He laughed at me. The audacity. How about that? Imagine a world where black people are no longer offended by the word nigger. Imagine a world where white people are no longer calling black people niggers. Why? One, because it doesn't work anymore. Two, because it's a compliment. Three, because they don't want to be embarrassed. I'll just leave you with three. That three's enough for now. But there's so much more. Anger rests in the belly of a fool. So if you think God is pleased with it, God is looking at you like He showed me. That's so foolish. That's so foolish that someone can call you nigger and you want to tear something up. I'm not impressed, God says. I ain't impressed with that. You ain't Peter to cut off the ear because somebody called you a nigger. You Peter now. No, you ain't Peter. You foolish. All right? Hey, I ain't trying to be a pastor. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm just an average man. Anybody could tell you that I just love God. I just love God. That's it. I don't have to be a pastor to talk about God, to mention God, and freeing His people. I'm talking to the church. The church should know. Hey, man, and I'm just an average believer. That's all I am. I just love God, And I love his people, and I want to see people set free. All right, that's it. Welcome to Morally TV. We love you, and I hope this blesses you. I'm Taylor Fleming. I'm signing out. Until next time, be blessed. Look at me trying to show off the thing. I don't know how to do the thing. I'm trying.